male and female, venturing into unfamiliar terrain. Nearby, the lion pride is at rest. The cubs, full of energy, tumble over one another in playful abandon. They know only the warmth of safety. They roam with a quiet determination, unaware of the territory they are crossing, the boundary of a lion pride's dominion. One cub, however, unaware of the latent dangers lurking beyond, strays further. It is still too young to understand the perils of the wild, too trusting, too naive. Ostriches are known to roam far from their herds, especially when the call of fresh grazing land beckons. And today, they travel beyond their comfort zone, crossing into the realm of danger. The cub, unaware of the looming threat, feels a shift in the air. They charge, not with anger, but with a cold, calculated intent. They are not just defending themselves, they are eliminating a future threat. The cub runs, its speed fueled by fear, but it is no match for the long-legged birds. The lions stir. The pride, once relaxed, now rises with the urgency of a hunt. The cub's flight has drawn the ostriches into their midst. And what was once a chase has turned. Now it is the ostriches who must flee. Dust lifts and hangs as a pride, more than 10 strong, unwinds across the plain. A living net testing the ground, while 2 ostriches hold the horizon through speed, balance, and frugal effort. The birds are built for distance. They run not only fast, but efficiently, and efficiency is what outlasts teeth. A pair splits wide to cut the course, seeking a shortcut, a falter, a misstep. Yet the birds read the geometry and change the axis with a slight veer, widening the breadth between hunter and hunted until half the pride falls away. Endurance turns to choice. The male eases his pace and slides behind the female, a moving shield that gathers risk to itself, for defense is a form of strength. 2 lionesses remain, experience distilled to danger. An ostrich kick can break bone, and a single misjudgment can cost a season. One commits from the quarter, angles for the leg. The kick lands high on the jaw. He drops. Balance deserts him in the same instant. Weight, dust, and claws fold the ground around his fall. The female holds the horizon and runs on. And the wind remembers what the herd will not say. Speed buys survival. Sacrifice keeps it. The first mouthfuls begin before the dust settles. Lip curls and low growls, framing a brief, hard-won truce as lionesses open the prize, while ranks gather from every compass point. The carcass calling kin the way thunder calls rain. Ostrich skin resists the first teeth, thick and rubbery, the dermis dimpled by quill follicles that later make prized leather. So the cutters look for the weak seams, inside thigh, underwing, soft belly, and bring the carnassials to work. Scissor blades of bone that close like shears and part the hide in measured strokes, while forepaws anchor and the head soars. Large prides are crowded economies, and hunger speaks in elbows, shoulders, and stare. Yet today the males only posture at the rim, rumbling over debt paid and danger taken. And let the workers eat first, because effort has a memory. While the pride knots tight around the fallen male, only one lioness is missing. She holds to the faint line of the fleeing female, gambling that a lone kill will pay better than a crowded feast. A final surge drains the last coin of effort. She yields, turns to shade, and the plain is quiet again. Now the lone female follows the pale track to open ground, where her flock feeds and watches, and safety returns like breath after a sprint. Danger is never distant, yet company lowers risk, for many eyes break the surprise that kills. And she is gravid. A quiet miracle carried through heat and fear. Eggs formed within her oviduct, shells building from calcium, life sealed against weather and tooth. The male's loss becomes a gift measured in futures, for a lineage continues when one body buys time for another. Ostriches do not bear live young, they lay. And this truth is older than the grass. The nest is only a shallow scrape, but placement is craft, dry soil, clear sightlines, wind that cools without drifting sand. In most seasons, a dominant pair tends a communal clutch, many females adding to the total, while one major female keeps the core. Yet rules bend to circumstance and vigilance fills where partners cannot. She chooses low ground, circles, and settles, laying at intervals of a day or two. Each pale globe delivered with care and aligned for even warmth. Incubation will take about 40 days, heat shared by day and night in a typical group. The female's dun plumage blending with noon, the male's black dissolving in darkness. Feathers around her lift and settle, loose veins made for insulation and display rather than flight, and they shed heat from the body during long, hot hours. The herd keeps station, a ring of tall sentries and quiet feeders, ready to boom, hiss, or kick if a jackal tests the boundary. When she rises to feed, she may sift sand over the clutch for shade, then return and reorder the circle with her bill and toes, for order is protection, and patience is the mother of escape. The group stands long and still, heads rise and sweep the wavering heat. A jackal ghosts the edge of sight. It reads scent and chance. Vigilance is a shared economy. One bird booms a deep warning. The mother rises. Feathers lift. Wings half spread to look larger. She hisses through a dry throat. The jackal tests nerve and direction. Eggs draw thieves because they are dense packages of fat, albumin, and mineral. The canid faints toward a scattered shell. Neck low, stride long, the jackal yields to the arithmetic of risk. The mother does not. She drives on, neck low, wings flared, stride lengthening into full sprint. Two toes hammer the sand. The inner claw lifts dust and certainty. time lengthens into quiet labor. Inside the shells, chicks cut a first crescent with an egg tooth. They breathe for the first time as blood vessels withdraw from the inner membrane. Progress is slow by design. One after another, they work free, legs unfold, heads bob with new balance. The flock stands around them like a moving windbreak. Not all eggs answer at once. Heat must hold steady. A territorial male settles over the remaining shells. His black plumage forms a dark shield. He trades shifts with the female to keep a narrow band of temperature across the clutch. Communal care is common here. Many females add to a nest. A dominant hen centers her own. Adults often gather young from several nests into a single creche. Many legs confuse a hunter. Many eyes shorten surprise. The work is harder once shells are gone. Chicks are soft targets. They are heat sensitive and still learning the language of threat. Adults shade them with lifted wings. They lead them to insects rich in protein, termites, grasshoppers, beetles. Growth demands dense fuel. They imprint quickly and follow closely. A moving shadow line trails the mother. Necks tilt to copy her pecs. Feet learn the rhythm of sand that slips and firms. Each day adds distance to their stride and memory to their caution. By weeks, they learn the freeze response. Hydration comes from green shoots and standing water when luck permits. Grit is swallowed to grind food in the gizzard. Bodies press flat when raptor shadows skim the plain. They rise only when the danger arc passes. The lesson is stern and simple. Speed is safety in motion. Stillness is safety in doubt. Survival is a craft taught step by careful step. The jackal returns to the fringe. A territorial male breaks from the ring and sprints. 3 long bounds and the gap collapses. Wings half spread, driving the intruder far down the line. The canid can top 50 kilometers an hour. But the ostrich holds more pace and far longer legs. The jackal circles back, eyes on the mottled chicks, precocial, walking within hours, feeding on insects and green shoots, yet still soft targets. And the male meets the second probe with a hard rush, hissing and booming, his black and white plumage declaring rank and resolve. Deterrence saves calories. Speed spent now buys shade, and vigilance later. The lesson, repeated without words, is simple. Meet the scout fast, drive it far, keep the center calm. Protection is most efficient before claws must land. A third test follows. The display scales, wings flare to magnify size. Dust lifts from two-toed feet. The inner toe, the heavy claw, marks the line between warning and injury. No contact is needed. Group defense multiplies force. Many eyes, ostrich eyes are the largest of any land animal, catch motion early, so surprise shortens, and the predator must show itself long before it closes. The fourth chase is decisive. Full flight, straight and uncompromising, until the jackal yields to safer ground. The band settles into open country with measured poise. Tall forms setting the pace, while small, striped bodies keep close to the slipstream of legs. and the survivor that outpaced the pride now moves with a new brood brought to ground by endurance and timing. Space, not walls, gives safety here, so formation flexes. Wide when sight lines are good, tight when cover rises. And a few heads ride higher as lookouts, while others feed. Each posture a signal, each pause a message. Chicks sample beetles and termites and shift, week by week, toward more shoots and seed, growth paying for itself as legs lengthen and balance steadies and practice sprints. Eyes sweep and blink under a clear inner lid that cleans without closing the world. Ears open as unfeathered ovals behind the eye catch a rustle the instant it begins.